G'day from the Bahrain International Circuit. Mid-morning, we've come to another screaming halt because the problem we had with the Great yesterday is back again. And if you're the driver in the morning session, both sessions, you're losing valuable time. I've just come back from the affected section of track, which is probably only 250 metres from the media centre. It's a different section of track that was involved yesterday, and there's plenty of grinding and welding going on now. It's a length of about 80 metres, and it's at the very end of the straight where the cars go wide to turn left into turn 11. And obviously there's a lot of downward pressure on those grates, which I don't believe were bolted down. Somebody told me that out in pit lane they're definitely bolted, but not out on the track where the cars are going a lot faster. And from the look of TV here, I'm seeing other areas of the track are being inspected as well. What this means is instead of running 2 4-hour sessions, there will now be just one long 8-hour session with this brake to repair the track stuck in the early stage. I've just been told it's not a grate, it's a drain cover. Now, I came across Sophia Florsch in the paddock today. Sophia is an F3 driver, and she's the young woman that had that horrific crash in Macau. Well, I can tell you, I spoke to her about this. There's a documentary on Emirates, if you happen to be flying, watch it. It's absolutely stunning. It's about her journey in racing, the crash, and her recovery. That documentary was put together by RTL, and there's no money changing hands, but it's great exposure for the young German driver. She's here today with Alpine, and she's sitting in with a lot of the briefings and meetings today just to get a feel of what goes on in F1. And she features in one of my videos coming up shortly where I talk to a number of women about whether a woman could race in F1. Speaking of documentaries, Netflix launches Drive to Survive today. The crew were out there again today, gathering content for the next year's series, which will be number 7, which will air just before the start of next year's season. Now, thank you to one of the McLaren crew who pointed out that one of their colleagues had got dressed in the dark this morning. He had one team shoe on and one private shoe. He was a little bit sheepish about it, and I won't reveal his name or show his face. As you probably know, I'm a photographer, and typically I'll take out big cameras like this. And this to shoot my stuff, but yesterday I caught a number of journalists out there with their iPhones shooting through the window. And sometimes the iPhone is the ideal camera because it's always in your pocket. Speaking of photography, I do feel sorry for a couple of my colleagues. We have some lockers here at the front of the media centre, and they're brand new and they're really nice looking, except most of them don't lock, which meant we've had to take our gear home. But one of the ones that did lock wouldn't unlock. So my poor colleague over here, Jerry, he's been without cameras for the first 2 hours, but that's fine, he said. He can watch some football. Well, Logan Sargent was looking trim when he rolled up for an interview today, but actually I found out he put on 5 kilos during the winter break, and his trainer, who is new, Elias Houtanen, has been working with him and got him back down to a good fighting weight. While waiting for drivers out there in the paddock, I was just flicking through Netflix's Drive to Survive, and I came across a speaking part of mine from the British Grand Prix last year.
You get out either side of that thing.
What's that?
Can you get out either side?
Yeah. Not easy. No, I saw that.
This picture here may prove to be quite pivotal. It's the first time we've seen Max Verstappen, his manager Raymond Vermeulen, with Christian Horner, along with Adrian Newey, with his back to us, and Helmut Marko, having lunch out on the deck of the hospitality suite of Red Bull. Shortly after, Max attended the press conference and was asked about the ongoing investigation, and his response was pretty much, it's best that I focus on my own performance rather than other distractions. He went on to say that it's nice when things are resolved, but at the moment everyone's very focused on the car. This has certainly consumed a lot in the media, and I know a lot of interest with people like you watching this video, but as it stands now, we're no closer to a resolution. I did come across something interesting with Esteban Ocon's shoes. Now, they're not a team shoe. This is an Esteban thing where he's got F1 team written here and his logo on the back of them. They look pretty snazzy, and of course they're in Alpine colours. Well, there's only a couple of minutes left of testing to go. It's been an epic 3 days out here. Beautiful weather. Carlos Sainz pretty much set the mark with the fastest time on day 2. No one bettered that, but who knows how hard anybody was pushing. But I think Max Verstappen's favourite status is well deserved. He is such an amazing driver, and that car looks to be invincible. So now we have a number of days off where I'll be wandering around Bahrain, doing some travel videos for you and showing you some of the sights. And it's quite an interesting place before we get back here on Wednesday. Now remember that Media Day is on Wednesday. We then go on track Thursday, Friday, with the race on Saturday. Why? Well, we've got 2 Saturday races in a row. because of Ramadan. And next year, Ramadan falls at a time that means Australia will get the first race of the year. Now, given you've had some minutes of entertainment here, I'd like to ask one favour of you, and really only those who aren't subscribed. The rest of you can tune out for a second. Please subscribe and like this video. And with that said, I'll say thanks for watching and stay passionate. It's too dark, gotta bump that up a little bit, make that a bit brighter.